so Star Wars Episode 9 came out as a teaser, and it's trending on YouTube. What's your hot takes on it?
We forgot to introduce ourselves.
No, we
We
didn't.
don't need it. We don't need to just introduce ourselves.
This is a good introduction to ourselves. Hi, I'm Ninja, and this is Paradox and Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Chris is the one who sounds like he's 14. Don't forget that.
Okay.
What?
Alright, so what's your opinions on the Episode 9 teaser or whatever?
It's bad.
I think it's not... I'm on the fence about it, because on the one hand, looking at it from how it looks for the entirety of the sequel trilogy, I don't like it. Looking at it from a Star Wars movie, I'm somewhat excited for it, but at the same time, not really, because I'm not sure really what's going on. Regardless, I'm still probably going to go see it in theaters, because I want to see how this ends.
So my take on it is, basically, I feel like it's very unexciting. Because it feels like the same movie we've seen 9 times. It doesn't add anything new to the table, and it's just like, this is a Star Wars film. These are really common in this modern day. I don't really want to watch it. Know what I'm saying?
I can understand that. And, yeah, it does seem like it doesn't bring anything new to the table. As, in fact, it kind of just brings everything to the table from before.
Yeah.
Including the lightsaber that was destroyed in the last movie.
Yeah, that also bothered me. I was like, what, is it going to be green? Because that would be a cool callback. Nope, it was blue.
And it's like...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like, how would she even have found the time or resources to build a lightsaber?
Yeah, isn't that like a part of the Jedi training? Like, it's one of the last things you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's showing that she's more of a Mary Sue.
That is still kind of subjective. There is evidence to prove and disprove her being a Mary Sue. It all kind of depends on your stance on the series.
So I really, talk about positives. I love how they're portraying Kylo fully giving into the dark side by having him rebuild his mask. How, he had it off, and it was, a questionable thing about whether or not he was going to be on the dark side, because he destroyed it. But having it back shows that he's fully embraced the dark side. But I feel like this movie's going to be about him building and just becoming a good person. He's going to, rise? Like a Skywalker. Because he's a Skywalker, technically.
I guess that... I don't know. The way Kylo's been, I don't know if there's really any kind of growth that he can go through.
Yeah, true. I thought they were going to team up in episode 8, but then suddenly Kylo's like, I'm going to kill your whole family. We need to start over. And I'm like, just don't kill the family.
I mean, Rey doesn't really have family. That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, but they were like, kill nothing. Resistance, kill this, that. And I'm just like, don't do that. Just conquer the galaxy, but don't do that. Wait, so I'm just rewatching the trailer, and was that Lando?
Lando Calrissian, yeah, they had him in there too.
Okay, yes, this is gonna be the best movie of the year.
Yeah. But it's
just like, this movie sucks. It's got Lando Calrissian. This movie rocks.
With what Chris is saying, it sounds like, hey, can you guys not kill people? Thanks.
It's like smoothest man in the galaxy walks on the scene. This is gonna be good.
Okay, so this movie, it depends on how it's written. It's written by, not written, written, but it's not written. It's written. Your thoughts?
Get to the point. This is J.J. Abrams again, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
J.J. Abrams just rehashed all of episode 7, and that, So I
mean, episode 7 wasn't that bad. It's when you took a look at it under the lens of episode 8, when everything kind of fell apart, because Rian Johnson was like, this is going to be completely different. And while it wasn't different in the way that a lot of people wanted, which for me at the time was like, that makes it even better because this isn't what everybody wanted. But now looking at it kind of retrospectively, I can see why it can make it bad, but it still shouldn't. Like, people were petitioning to have the movie removed from canon and a completely new movie made, which there's a number of reasons why that couldn't have happened.
No.
Like, you can hate the movie all you want, but just looking at YouTube, there's like this whole thing about, SJWs. Like, where did that come from? Why are you talking about the SJWs for?
Well, it's because it has... So basically, the new movies are all led by minorities. Like, you got a woman, an Asian, and...
Oh, yes, because there's so few women in the world.
Well, no, like, she's leading such a major franchise. Like, that's why people are getting upset, because they're like...
Yeah, so they don't
they
get
think
mad
they're pandering,
that people
but,
are
like,
leading a franchise.
Yeah, they think that the studio's pandering by doing this. But why can't big movies that originally had men just have women for the sake of diversity? Like, no one can play whenever...
I mean, that would be fine if they were handling it that way, though. And a lot of people, and I can kind of see it, the way they're handling it does kind of, like... It does kind of show in that light. And looking at how a lot of stuff nowadays is being handled in the name of diversity, well, I think we can all look at J.K. Rowling and see how that can be done wrong.
Dumbledore's gay! But, like, So, basically, I feel like Episode 7 did it fantastically. With Finn and Rey, it didn't matter, and they were well-written characters. The only person who I seriously have a problem with is, I feel like Rose is very poorly written.
Yeah.
Because she's just a love interest for Finn.
And she is kind of just shoved in with, like, not much to go off of aside from, like, oh, her sister died in the beginning of the movie, who doesn't really have anything to do other than just that. Die.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cut most of the part out of the movie and you'll just be fine.
No. Finn would die without her. And then we wouldn't have that fantastic kiss scene.
Wasn't it, like... What was it? There was something going around... I can't remember if it was this movie about there, like, being a bunch of uncut cut stuff that people wanted to see.
I don't know. But we're getting a bit off topic.
Yeah.
So, like, just closing thoughts about Episode 9. Like, you guys excited for it, or, like, you just gonna be like, it's a movie?
Right now, I'm kind of thinking it's a movie. If we get to see better stuff coming out in the next few months, more on the movie that kind of is actual hype material, I'll maybe get excited to see it, but right now, I'm just thinking it's another Star Wars movie. What's gonna happen?
What about
my
you, Chris?
fault is basically Lando Calrissian is in the movie. It's gonna be the best movie of all time. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not too excited. I'll watch it because why not? But not really. I'm not really that excited after what happened with Episode 8. Episode 7 was alright, but I'm just not really excited.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I personally just feel like that this movie, like, it has potential, but, like, there's nothing to be excited about, because it's not like the old days, or like, it's not whenever other Star Wars movies were coming out, where there was, like, a 3-year gap. There was a 2-year gap here, and, like, we got Solo in between that, so, like, our Star Wars fix is filled.
I feel like the difference with that, though, with the amount of time, I don't think it's that less time is being put into these movies. I think it's more the fact that when the prequels came out, they were still, like, on the cusp of CGI really being good, and with trying to include practical effects along with that does take a lot of time, whereas now what would take 3 years can probably be done in like a year or two. That's why so many movies come out
I get
every
that. I get
year.
that. Like, I completely understand it. I'm just saying that, like, the hype just can't build up. We're not having to wait.
Yeah.
It's like, we just got another one of these. This one is just, like, we already got our meal.
Yeah.
Don't give
And
us
if you
another
just-
meal, like, an hour later. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Then again, you go and consider something like Infinity War and then Endgame. I feel like
But,
that...
like, we had a... It took 10 years, okay? 10 years for, like, Endgame to, like, finally conclude. We had to wait about 6 for this Star Wars thing that we waited a total of 30 years to even get started.
True.
And, like, all the other trilogies took at least a decade to conclude. This was taking
South
6...
Kind of something... that's kind of something I'm trying to get at. Like, Star Wars didn't have... It's not the amount of time it took to build up for it, because even if we didn't have the 10 years for the MCU, if we cut that down by any and like squished them together, I feel like there would still have been that same kind of hype because of the stakes leading up to it and the hype from the story. Star Wars
and, like,
didn't seem to have that same kind of story and writing and everything that Avengers had.
Alrighty. Well, that's the end of... Are we done? Like, me?
I think we're done. We've seen... We've done pretty much everything.
So, yeah, this is the end of our first Minnesota.
Yep.
See all of y'all. If you like this video, make sure you dislike it. And if you hate it, which you probably will, make sure you like it. Goodbye.